Alright there, geezers, Jules here from FGS, home of the Future Games Show. And you know what? Despite what speedrunners, professional esports players, and pretty much every job interview I've ever had will tell you, skill, believe it or not, does not actually matter in some cases. Now I know that there's probably some top tier players that will turn red in the face at the thought of this, but the dirty little truth is that sometimes skill isn't what wins a match, and instead it's down to dumb luck and a whole heaping of RNG. And that's what we're here to talk about today, about the times when all of your patience and practice was either undone by the computer just straight up saying, haha, not today, pal, or whether you experienced a windfall so rare that it shattered records, expectations, and in some cases, entire gaming communities as they just hound you forever and ever, asking you how you were just so goddamn lucky. So let's have a chat, as I'm Jules, this is FGS, and these are some video games where skill doesn't matter. Oh, and before any smart asses pipe off in the comments typing like, oh, Call of Duty or Pokemon or like Dark Souls doesn't require any skill, then just think about this for a split second. Shut up. But also, these are just way too obvious even if I did pick them. Deep cuts only, baby. So let's move on and talk about Mystery Case Files Ravenhearst. Yeah, I bet you didn't have that on your bloody bingo card, did you? Okay, friends, I'll level with you here. When it comes to the point-and-click puzzle game Mystery Case Files Ravenhearst, you do actually need some significant amount of skill to play the game, as searching for clues and figuring out the solutions does require a keen mind. And I know that you're probably saying, oh, Jules, you absolute suggestion of a man. This isn't a very good start to a bloody list, is it then? To which I'd respond, oh, you sweet, pathetic, beautiful fool. Yes, you do need skill to play the game, but not to beat it. Oh, I'm a stinker. I say this because thanks to a huge oversight on behalf of the developers, the final mystery in this game can actually be made impossible the moment you start playing, and makes no mention of this to the player. You see, the final challenge is unlocked by collecting 7 keys that are dotted around the manor, but as these are randomly doled out, there is a chance that you won't be able to gain access to certain areas of the game, as you won't have the keys to unlock these areas in the first place. And the worst part of all of this is that you'll only realise you've been locked into a dead end hours and hours into the run. And because every action you take triggers an autosave, there's no way to just roll things back and try again. Oh, what's this? What's this? It's a giant thumbs up. Oh, lucky me! Yes, it turns out that all of your brain power isn't gonna get you past a simple lock block, because apparently your skills, they're worth a big fat nothing. Cheers. Anyway, let's move on and talk about Crash Bash. Right, yes, I know that you're going to be looking at your screen once more, and yes, I'm reusing this joke again and saying, oh, Jules, you said deep cuts only, and I've definitely heard of this, you upside down face man. And yeah, you know what? Crash Bash was bloody everywhere when I was a kid. I couldn't move for da bash, as we used to say back in the day. But I ask you this, my friend. Who in their right mind is playing Crash Mother Bash in the year of our Lord 2024? Our slimy Lord, Slime Jesus. He's still around. Well, you know what? I'll answer that for you, because it's Kadikarus, that's who. Yes, that's right. Recently, Kadikarus, a wonderfully funny YouTuber from the UK, posted up a video on the pain and indeed horrors that he went through trying to fully complete this supposed party game known as Crash Bash. And alongside highlighting the utterly brutal methods of even unlocking content for the game itself, he went down a rabbit hole akin to the pit of Sarlacc when he started looking into the relic and crystal challenges. And it's because these modes turn the AI of this game into an utter cheating. And I don't mean that in a salty, it's just a skill issue complaint sort of thing. I mean that the computer is actually cheating, and it even forgoes any shred of fair play by constantly ganging up on the player at any given opportunity. It's like we all knew that Dingo Dar was a bit of an absolute dingo, but at the same time it's just like, mate, you want to rush me with your friends? How is that fair? At least let me lace my shoes up first. Yeah, you know what? It doesn't end there, because the things that I've just listed, I mean, they should result in the player being forced to learn how to overcome this incredibly stacked deck of which in turn becomes a test of skill. But as Caddy points out, none of this matters at all, because sometimes, against all logic and even with all of these nerfs applied to the player, you'll simply just breeze through the challenges without breaking a sweat. Other times you might be locked into a minigame for hours at a time trying to overcome the odds, but because of the sheer number of overlapping RNG mechanics alongside the randomness of the games themselves, you can never truly predict how you'll win or how monstrously you will lose. Skill has no place in this game, and you might end up completing the entire experience in the same time it takes one person to win a single crystal challenge. No, thank you. No thanks, I'm good. Surprisingly, at the buffet of this, I'm full. I'm allergic to whatever this is. But also big thanks to Gadicarus as well. I mean, thank you for going through that. Woof. Anyway, let's move on and talk about another cheeky little chappy and talk about the Hobbit game from the 80s. Oh, lucky us. I'll tell you what, old school text games really were mad, weren't they? I mean, if you've ever played the likes of something like The Hitchhiker's Guide or Zork or Enchanter, you know that just a few wrong words could lead you into a world of trouble, and you'd often find yourself lacking the right ones to solve some of these devious, and some could even say infuriating puzzles that require super specific phrasing. Well, I've got a phrase for you, my friends. What the f*** was going on with the 1982 Hobbit game that dropped for the ZX Spectrum? Everything and nothing is the answer. Seriously, I've played through this game multiple times and none of the playthroughs have ever been the same. It's all thanks to the decision that they made to make every NPC, every enemy and every single event run on a rudimentary AI controlled by an in-game timer. Well, I mean loosely controlled, because alongside the timer meaning that certain characters would only be found at certain locations and then just naff off precisely at the stroke of 3 bongs on the clock, you'd also have to battle against the personalities of your allies as well.
Fly, you fools!
And if that sounds like a nightmare, yes, welcome, it is! Because sometimes your friends, you know, the ones that are actually meant to help you out on your quest, they turn around and say no. Honestly, there's a chance the bard will refuse to shoot Smaug. All because you just didn't ask him at the right time, or because, I don't know, he's got like a scheduling conflict. I'm sorry, mate, is it a bit inconvenient for you to kill the massive monster that's about to destroy the heap that is your town? Do you not care about your bloody family? Well, to be fair, I watched the films, I wouldn't either. God, they were annoying. Elsewhere, enemies can kill NPCs before you've even bloody reached them. Paths can be permanently blocked and you can spend ages looking for somebody only to find that they've just gone for a stroll because they fancied a change in scenery. And of course, best of all, they can attack you if you them off by asking them to do their bloody job over and over. Yeah, that's right, they programmed that in for some reason, that if you annoy them by asking them to help you out, they'll just be like, well, you know what, mate, I was gonna help you out, I was gonna help you move that sofa at the weekend, but now I'm gonna shit you! Honestly, friends, I won't lie to you here. There is actually skill in this game, but it is actually the skill to ignore your inner voices and drown this title in a bathtub. And speaking about One Rings, if I listen closely, I should be hearing the notification bell ringing right now as you guys clearly, oh, that was a terrible name, as you guys are clearly going to subscribe to the FGS YouTube channel and hit that notification bell to stay up to date for all of our daily gaming content. I'm still popping myself over that stupid segue right there. Join in the fun, join the family, my friends. There's over 180,000 plus people at the time of recording this episode, so why not help us get over 200k? Come on, let's do this, baby. I'll tell you what, I'll reward you with a Warhammer-based deep cut right now. That's your prize for going through this. Let's talk about Space Hulk. Let's just go. Come on, let's go. Dive in. Anyway, yeah, we're talking about Space Hulk. Woo. Oh, what's this? A parcel? Oh, let me open this up. Maybe it's that new sound effect that Mark has been waiting for. Oh, shock horror. No, it's actually just a Warhammer mention. Ooh, sorry about that. But you know what? This time, we're turning to the heady days of Space Hulk and its 2013 variant. Oh, what's that, Mark? It did have the new sound effect in. Was it worth it? Yes? No. Delete where appropriate. Well, you'll be making lots of those noises and other such ridiculous sounds if you delve too deep into the twisted corridors, or as I like to call them, murder tubes of Space Hulk, a game in which you can lose everything in the blink of an eye and in which as I really hate to say it, skill doesn't really matter in this game. Because you know what does matter a lot? Dice rolls. Endless dice rolls that are happening behind the curtain and that can and will ruin your time with this game. Now you might think that as you're a Terminator clad in monstrously thick, chunky armor and wielding weapons that shoot what are essentially mini rockets, that you'll just be able to saunter through and just murder everything in your path, right? Right? Wrong, my friend. Because on a good day, Yeah. But what if your gun jams? What if you miss all of your Overwatch shots? What if the game spawns 3 Tyranids right behind you? What if your team spawns in facing the wrong direction, causing you to waste time getting into order? What if you don't generate enough command points to let you do actions in the game? What if all of these happen at once? What are you going to do about it, you big fat stupid idiot? Die, that's what. And you know what's really infuriating is that you could load in the same level back in and just hit everything, move without issue, and have a low spawn rate of your enemies. You could spend an hour dying over and over and over only to breeze through the same area in a minute. It is utterly maddening. Still quite a fun game though. Anyway, speaking of maddening, let's turn to the world of US football and talk about NFL Blitz. Now, as any good kart racing pro player and those into extreme penile bondage will be able to tell you, rubber banding is a big part of the experience whether you want it to be or not. Ow. For those not in the know, rubber banding is a term given to a mechanic employed primarily in racing games which is designed to give players in last pace a boost to their speed or their handling or a chance to gain more potent power-ups, which should, in turn, make races feel more competitive and fair. However, in some cases, the rubber band can get snapped in half and become a torturous whip that gets flicked into the eyes of your good times, as was the case in NFL Blitz. Now, for the record, I bloody love this series because in place of all of the rules and regulations found in the more boring sim-like titles of today, this NFL offshoot allowed you to bend the rules and break the bones of your opponents, encouraging reckless plays over well-thought-out strategies. In short, it was mad to have a game. Yet, one thing that tasted like spit slurped out of a used jockstrap was the rubber banding that was in the original N64 outing, because here, if one player got too far ahead of the other, they would find that their players would become significantly weaker, drop the ball all the bloody time, and slow to the pace of a procrastinating snail. In NFL Blitz, the mechanic was so aggressively implemented that you'd always end up just flipping a coin to find out who'd actually win the game, meaning that having too much skill was actively punished here, and you were actually better off not scoring if you wanted a more fair match, which is utterly ridiculous. Right, and speaking of ridiculous, let's close things out by talking about Samurai Warriors 2. Now, as you're a hashtag savvy gamer source pot, you'll probably have noticed a distinct lack of Mario Party from this list so far, and that is for 2 reasons. One, this is the deep cut, so of course we can't have any of that mainstream dishwater clogging up my big fat nostalgia pipe, and for 2, I'm about to scratch that infuriating game type itch for you right now by talking about a title with an oft-forgotten about game mode that will drive you utterly ballistic for the fact that everything, and I mean everything, is down to RNG. Say hello to Sugoroku, a secret party game hidden within Samurai Warriors 2, and which is basically a fusion between Mario Party, Monopoly, and smashing your face into a brick wall. And I say this because while it seems on the surface to be about using skill and guile to conquer Japan, there are so many elements and so much that is left up to chance that you'll either win by accident or have no clue how you lost so very, very badly. From having to buy up land and manage resources, chain together tiles to increase their worth, taking a gamble on random events from shrines that could boost or diminish your gold, collecting player bespoke flags that again multiply your score, and of course partaking in the mini games themselves, DICE randomly control everything here. And trust me pal, they are often not going to go in your favour. You could be a metric shedload of gold ahead of your opponents, but then somehow, almost as if by magical bad programming, the computer will roll exactly what they need, land on a square, create a chain, and then cash in the next round. And the only area that does require some skill, aka the mini-games, well, they're further RNG'd by having the computer dole out random buffs and nerfs at the start of each of them. Right, you two, it's time to settle things once and for all. Whoever gets the most KOs here gets to claim this territory. All right, let's go. Come on, let's do this. Right then, okay. Right, this is for you. Whoa, wait a minute. What's that? What's that? Oh, sweet, you got an attack ×2 boost. You are gonna do so well with that. And yeah, mate, this one's for you. Oh, cheers. Right, I seem to have been given my own bank card back. Yeah, I also used that to buy a load of ingredients for a bioterrorism weapon, so you are on a list now. Wait, what? Why would you do that? What's it? Why does it smell of Battle start! Wait, what? And that is Sugoroku. enjoy! And there we go, my friends. Those were some video games where skill does not really matter. Hope that you enjoyed that and let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below, my friends. And if you want to chat to me in the meantime, you can go follow me over on the social medias here, or you can follow my lovely editor Mark over on his social medias over here as well. But before I go, I just want to speak about one thing. Even though we spoke about video games that do not require skill, you know what also doesn't require much skill at all? Just being bloody kind to yourself. You deserve love, happiness, and success. We all do as human beings, so just take that time, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes out of your day and just go, you know what? I am a big bloody ledge. I deserve to not be treated like this. I'm gonna go away and just chill out and remind myself that I am a good person. All right? That's all I ask. I just want you to go and live that healthy and happy life, all right? And sometimes taking a little break like that, it can go a long, long way. So big love to you, my friend. Hope you're smashing it. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.